Of Hale, Stevens versus Gutierrez. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat.
Mr. Stevens, Miss Gutierrez and you used to be an item. You were boyfriend and girlfriend for a while, is that right?
That is correct.
And you are currently attached to Miss Hale.
I'm currently seeing Miss Hale, that is correct.
According to the complaint that I have, the two of you say that Miss Gutierrez did not accept the breakup well, and she has embarked upon a course of conduct that is harassment. She's vandalized your property. She's repeatedly written notes, spray painted your car, spray painted your house, and you want her to stop this harassment. You have a series of police reports, 7 or 8 of them, over a period of several months. You want $4,000 in damages. Ms. Gutierrez says there is no way that she's responsible for any of the damage that you claim. As a matter of fact, she can prove that to me because she was hospitalized and she had just undergone some major surgery at a time when you claim she was running around spray painting your house. And she is counterclaiming because she says because of your complaints about her to the police, she lost her job. How long were you and Ms. Gutierrez together?
Approximately 26 months.
Did you live together?
No, ma'am. And
when did you stop seeing each other?
We formally broke it off December of 2003. While she was in hospital in January and February, I visited her. It was a life-threatening surgery. During that time, I was very explicit that I didn't want to maintain the relationship as a boyfriend-girlfriend.
You mean right after her surgery?
Correct.
That was in '04, January and February of '04?
Yes.
Okay.
The last time I actually spoke to her about the relationship was probably the earliest part of June.
Well, between January and February and the early part of June, were you together? Did you see each other?
We went on a camping trip in May as friends.
How do you go on a camping trip
with
somebody?
Well, we were going to try the experience.
Listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you go with somebody on a camping trip in May that you're told you don't want a relationship with several months before, and then tell me you went as friends?
The reason was I don't believe that that's usually a healthy thing, but I thought that she would be mature about it.
Be mature about what?
To be able to be a friend after you've been in a deep relationship with someone, and to handle it as friends.
So you decided to handle it as friends by going away on a camping trip together. Now, let me ask you about this camping trip. How many people went on the camping trip?
It was just the two of us.
And And did you have one tent or two?
We had one tent.
And did you share that tent, or did you sleep on the sofa?
No, we shared the tent.
Were you intimate during the course of this camping trip?
No, ma'am, we were not.
Is that true?
That's correct. It's kind of hard to do anything in a tent.
Where there's a will, there's a way. So what happened during this trip in May?
Well, we talked about a lot of things. I told her she still had feelings for me and voiced that to me, and I told her that I didn't want to continue, that I wanted to start seeing other people, and I encouraged her to do the same.
How long was this camping trip?
It was just a weekend.
When did you have this conversation with her, on Friday or Sunday?
In regard to?
Not wanting to have a relationship with her anymore.
Well, it had been sort of ongoing. I can't recall it like a specific time.
Your Honor, we never talked about it. We went out and had a good time. The following weekend was Memorial Weekend. I spent the entire holiday weekend with them.
That sound right, sir?
I only recall the camping trip.
Well, let's try to recall the following weekend. She said she spent the entire weekend with you.
I know that what I do...
She's going to be able to prove everything that she says. I want you to trust me, so I want you to think hard. We're not talking about so long ago, sir. You went camping. She says the following weekend was Memorial Weekend, and you spent the entire weekend with him. Is that right? Where?
At his home.
At his home?
Yes.
Not in your home?
Friday through Monday.
You didn't have a tent there where it was difficult?
We slept in the same bed, Your Honor.
Think hard.
I am, Your Honor, and I do not recall that. I'm being completely, brutally honest with you, Your Honor.
Well, if you don't recall it, she does.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay. So what happened at the end of that Memorial Day weekend, Ms. Gutierrez?
We just had a good weekend. We made a nice steak dinner that night. Always ate underneath his hut. He's got a beautiful yard.
Well, when did he tell you that it was over?
We never talked about it.
How did you find out it was over?
On June 2nd, he was supposed to go with me to a Japanese dinner with a friend of mine, and he backed out. After dinner, I went to the club looking for him.
What club?
It's the Texas Tux.
Is that where he works? Or
That's where he picks up his women.
did you find him?
No, no, ma'am.
When did you speak to him, if at all, for him to tell you that it was over?
A week and a half after he met Annette on June 5th. He was seeing her, but I didn't know anything about it until a week and a half later.
Miss Hale, when did you meet Mr. Stevens?
June 12th.
6/12.
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you meet him?
I met him at the Tux with some friends.
At the Texas Tux?
Yes, ma'am.
And you were immediately attracted to him?
We got along well. Great conversation. Over the next few weeks, we would meet for a drink or dinner or, and that was it.
Did he tell you that he had been in a long-term relationship?
Sure did.
What did he tell you about it?
He had been broke up with her since December 14th.
Okay, that's what he told you?
Mm-hmm.
That he had been out of the relationship for at least 6 months?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, you now know that that's not true.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you know that before today?
No, ma'am.
We're getting on with this
Yes.
because I want you to hear this, Miss Hale. Before you put all your eggs in his basket, I want you to understand what you're dealing with.
Okay.
Bad enough that one lady got snookered. You don't want that to happen twice.
And he will.
Shh.
Sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You understand that the lady standing next to you has certain questions to ask you about what kind of character you have.
Well, ma'am, I'm an Eagle Scout, and I've tried to be as forthright and honest with her about a lot of these issues.
He never was honest with me. I found that out just recently.
He's an Eagle Scout.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. John Stevens and his girlfriend Annette Hale claim John's ex-girlfriend Janie Gutierrez has been spray painting obscenities on Annette's car.
Now, Mr. Stevens, Miss Hale tells me that you told her that you were in a long-term relationship which terminated in December.
That's when it formally terminated. That's when we had a
That's not what you told me 2 minutes ago, sir.
No, but I'm just saying, what happened, that was the formal end of the romantic relationship. I did have a continued relationship, but it was not a romantic one with Miss Gutierrez.
Well, maybe you weren't romantic, sir. Did you tell Miss Hale that you had been on a camping trip with her?
I told Miss Hale about a lot of...
Did you tell her you had been on a camping trip with her 2 weeks before?
I don't recall if I told her about the camping
Well,
trip.
let's see. Did he tell you about the camping trip?
Yes, ma'am, but I was not aware they were alone. I was aware that there were a lot of people.
Oh, well, tell me about what he told you about the camping trip.
I thought they had gone with friends on a camping trip and that it was strictly friendly and that was it. And she couldn't accept that, and so he told her they couldn't be friends. That's what I was told. Yes.
There isn't a question in my mind, Miss Hale, that on Memorial Day weekend, they spent the weekend together. Because she remembers it down to what they had for dinner, and he just doesn't remember.
Exactly.
Just doesn't remember that. Could have happened, but he doesn't remember it.
Right.
Okay, now, Miss Hale, I'd like you to tell me what kind of vandalism you suffered and when.
Okay. The first one started on June 25th. I have police report.
Can I see it,
and
please?
Pictures.
Was there a word written here? I can't tell what it says.
It starts, but it just never gets to that last letter.
Okay, well, this happened June 25th. What proof do you have that Miss Gutierrez caused this damage to your car?
Well, I have 2 other police reports. The painting happened 2 other times to my car. I have pictures of it also. And the fact that on July 31st, we were trying to wait up and watch for her since it was becoming every week. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, the dog started going crazy, and she was out in the driveway with a can of spray paint.
But, Your Honor, she neglected to tell you that I got a prank joke from the police officer at 3:30 in the morning. They said that they had a witness for me spray painting the garage in her car, and they told me if I didn't come to the scene and bring my spray paint to the scene, if I had any spray paint, to bring it, otherwise they would arrest me. He made the prank call. So I came up there with the can of spray paint that was never used at 4 a.m. in the morning.
Did you call her?
No, ma'am.
That doesn't sound right to me, Miss Gutierrez.
It is, Judge Judy. They woke me up at 3:30 in the
Where did you
morning.
get a can of spray paint?
I bought 3 cans 6 years ago. It took 2 cans to spray one of my piece of furniture.
What color?
It was a burgundy.
Miss Gutierrez.
But the 3rd paint can I never used. I used both of them on the piece of furniture 6 years ago.
What color was the...
The 3rd time was burgundy.
Can I see it, please?
And the same night, 25 miles away, she painted his garage burgundy. And we have pictures.
May I?
Can I see it?
Some pictures in my garage.
The gold paint was the 2nd time. That was the 3rd with the burgundy on his garage.
What date was this?
That one was July the 16th, the
All
burgundy
right.
paint.
Now, Ms. Gutierrez, according to your answer, you say that it was impossible for you to have done this on the 16th of July because you had either just had surgery or you were recuperating from major surgery. What kind of surgery?
I broke my neck in January. I was paralyzed.
Until when?
I just got the machine off the back of my neck last week, and also my PICC line that I've had since January.
Well, that didn't prevent you from getting around in July.
You
were not bedridden in July.
I was on a machine, and I had home care come 3 times a week.
That doesn't make any sense.
I was restricted to
You're not
working
answering
back
my
home.
question. Were you mobile during the month of July?
Yes, ma'am.
Of course, because at some point in July, you went over to the house at 4 o'clock in the morning, right?
When I got the phone call,
When you got the phone call, you were able to get up out of your house and go over to his house with a can of spray paint. So you were, in fact, mobile. So there was nothing physiologically wrong with you that precluded you from getting into a car and traveling, unless somebody drove you there. Did somebody drive you there?
No, ma'am.
You drove yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Gutierrez, I would have been very angry with him, too.
But not enough for me to spray paint, Your Honor. I'm not violent.
That's not being violent. Not violent. It's being vindictive. It's a criminal act. It's not per se a violent act. But I don't see why you would want to spray paint her car. She got snookered in by this guy.
I have nothing against her, Your Honor.
Of course not. You shouldn't. The only thing that you both suffer from is from terrible judgment. You understand that the lady standing next to you has certain questions to ask you about what kind of character you have after today.
Well, ma'am, I'm an Eagle Scout, and I've tried to be as forthright and honest with her about a lot of these issues.
He never was honest with me. I found that out just recently.
He's an Eagle Scout.
Doesn't mean I'm perfect,
They're
Your
going to
Honor.
take your badges away from you, Mr. Stevens. How much did it cost you to clean up your car?
Well, we kept using different methods to get the paint off, but I've got estimates. It's practically down to the metal because 3 times getting paint off, it takes it away. So I got 2 estimates and an estimate from Hertz on renting a car while it's getting fixed.
Did you get the paint off your garage door, Mr. Stevens?
Yes, ma'am, I did. I used some chemicals, but it's left it down to taking the top coating off.
So I think you ought to get a can of paint. And while you're painting, I think you should keep repeating to yourself, I cannot tell a lie, I will always tell the truth. I am an Eagle Scout. See what kind of trouble you cause when you're not honest with people?
Ma'am,
Mr.
I've tried to be
Stevens?
honest throughout
You
this ordeal.
No. Let me explain something to you, Mr. Stevens. If you told this lady back in January and February that you were no longer interested in a relationship with her, and she could not accept that, that would have been her problem. But if you were waffing around until you found something better and took her away on a camping trip, and then the following weekend either shared her bed or allowed her to share yours with a view towards perhaps I have nothing better to do this weekend, that means that what you are doing is you are playing fast and loose with somebody else's emotions, and that, sir, is very cruel. And then when you meet this lady, you give her a whole bunch of junk, painting a picture to her that is not accurate, Because I'm sure that when she was suffering this damage to her car, you were telling her, I don't know what's wrong with her. I broke up with her in December. That's 7 months ago. She just can't accept it. She didn't know that you were leading her on over the course of the next 6 or 7 months, up until a couple of months before this happened. She didn't know that. That's not being honest, sir. And sometimes damage comes from not being honest. So I suggest you go out there and get yourself a can of paint, put on some jeans, and paint your garage doors. You get $1,400 to paint your car. Judgment for the plaintiff, and your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Obviously, there's a relationship that broke apart and someone couldn't let go.
It destroyed me because my plans were to marry him.
I don't think I got the whole truth from either one of them.
Sort of painted me today like I was very untruthful and not upfront and honest.
He lied not only to me, but his new girlfriend.
I feel like I'm a victim in this.
My advice to her is she needs to check out someone's history thoroughly before jumping in bed with them.
I shouldn't have to live in fear where someone's going to come by, destroy my property, and come over at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I hope this is the end of it.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Bowman versus Schmelzer, step forward, please.
20-year-old student Elizabeth Bowman is suing her ex-boyfriend, 19-year-old student Mark Schmelzer, for an unpaid cell phone bill and cancellation fees. Mark says all he wants is for Elizabeth to leave him alone.
Miss Bowman, the defendant was your boyfriend for a period of time. During the time he was your boyfriend, you got a cell phone, you signed the contract, you gave him a cell phone, you broke up with him, you got back the cell phone, but you had certain charges on the cell phone, including a turn-in fee for his cell phone and a breach of contract for the service, so you want him to pay for that. That's what the case is about,
Correct.
right? When did you get the phone?
May of last year.
And when you got the phone and signed the contract, how old was Mr. Schmelzer?
Yes.
17.
17. And why didn't he get a contract?
Because he wasn't 18. You can't unless you're 18.
And why is that?
Can't be held accountable.
Right. You can't be held liable on a contract if you are a minor. And that's why he didn't sign the contract, right?
Correct.
That's why he can't make a contract with you. Do you understand?
Yes.
Got it? Do you understand that you have no case?
Yes.
Okay, good. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Seated, sir. Have a seat.
Miss Arlene, are you a licensed hypnotherapist?
I'm a certified hypnotherapist, yes.
Certified. Is
Yes.
that what they do?
Yes, there's not a license for hypnotherapy in this state.
Is that the state of California?
The state of California, yes.
And how long have you been a certified hypnotherapist?
For 9 years, Your Honor.
According to what I've read in your complaint, Ms. Cubas, you sought the defendant's services in order to help you stop smoking.
That's correct.
And you are suing her because not only didn't you stop smoking, but you say that she should be responsible for other stress that she put you through because of some vision that she had while she was treating you. Where did you find Miss Arlene?
I found her out of the Yellow Pages, Your Honor.
How long have you been a smoker?
Probably 45 years.
So you figured it was time you stopped.
My sister died of cancer last year, and I desperately wanted to quit. And so I discussed it with my husband about going to see a hypnotherapist because I had been under so much stress and wanted to quit so badly that out of sheer desperation, I called this ad in the paper.
Do you have a copy of the ad?
Yes, out of
see
the...
it, please.
Yes, I do. I explained to her my situation, and she told me that it was $295 and that she was 95% effective. The other 5% is usually people that smoke 3 to 4 packs a day. So I felt pretty secure in going to her, and she said, I have an appointment open at 12:30. This was at 11 o'clock. She said, can you be here? I live 50 miles away, but yes, I did go. And when I got there, I asked her how long had she been a hypnotherapist. She said 8 years. After this discussion, she asked me if I wanted to go ahead with it, and I said yes. So she proceeded to hypnotize me, and during this hypnotizing thing, the only thing she said pertaining to smoking was, when I want a cigarette, say to myself, I think I want a cigarette, but not now, maybe later. Instead, I'll have a handful of grapes. Well, Your Honor, I ate so many grapes, I was having other problems.
Just a second. Just a second. She never promised you anything other than to stop smoking.
She promised me I wouldn't gain weight.
No.
But anyway, she told me I had, after this session, she told me I had to give up Dr. Pepper, sugar, cream, milk, and I drink lots of water. I have a list of the things she told me to take.
Just a second. What date was that, by the way?
That was on July 12th.
Okay, so on July 12th you went there and you were smoking up until the time you got to her office, I assume.
Yes.
When you left her office on July 12th, you tell me that you ate a lot of grapes the next day.
Oh, yes.
But you didn't smoke.
Yes, I did smoke, Your Honor.
How much did you smoke the next day?
I smoked maybe 6 or 8 cigarettes.
Which is a lot less than you would smoke previously.
Yes, but I...
Okay. When were you supposed to go back?
I was to go back Wednesday on the 13th, or 14th. I was to go back July 14th.
So, supposed to skip a day. Did you go back on the 14th?
Yes, I did.
What happened when you went back on the 14th?
I had complained to her about my bladder hurting me, and I had told her that I was still smoking. And she said it was probably the toxins emptying out of my body that was bothering my bladder. And she told me that I looked scattered. And I said, it's because I'm still smoking and I'm upset. And she said, well, it's going to take more than the 2 sessions, and it'll take a week. She said, give me a chance. So she calmed me down and took me back and did the same thing almost that she did the first session. So I left there feeling a little more calmer, and I was to go back the following day on a Thursday. And when I got there that time, Your Honor, we went back to the therapy room, and the first thing she did was ask me if I knew of anyone with a man with an oval face, a beard, long hair, and lots of wrinkles. And I said, no. And she said, well, could it have been your deceased son? And I said, no, my son was young, and he didn't have a beard. And she said, well, I didn't get a real good look, but she said it may have just had a mustache, because I told her my son had a mustache. The day before, she did something to me during hypnosis, of doing something with her hands. I didn't quite understand what it was. She said she realized that she had not done my feet, so she went back to do my feet. And she said when she went to do my feet, she turned and she saw this image that she had described to me, grimacing and cringing in my solar plexus.
In your stomach?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And she said she wasn't going to tell me, but she talked to her psychic daughter, and her daughter said she felt like she should discuss this with me. Well, before the last session, she asked me if it was possible during this hypnosis session if we communicated with this entity. And I said, well, sure. I mean, I felt, what the heck's going on? I said, what could it be? So during hypnosis, she would tap me on the forehead, and she'd say, now ask this person who they are and why they're here. So I said, who are you and why you're here? And no answer. And she tapped me again for this person to answer me. And this just went on, tapping me. So at the end, I asked him, would he go away or something like that. I couldn't remember it all, but when I came out, she said, well, he did say he would go away. So we got up, the session was over. I was sort of dazed, and I even hugged her and invited her to my home. And then when I got to my truck, I just sat there for a while, and I was thinking, my God, I'm possessed.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
There are some people that believe in these psychic sightings and some people that don't.
It frightened me.
I've never had that happen to me.
And later today,
He threw Mrs. Yeager's son up in the air, and he didn't catch him. And he fell and broke both arms.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Frida Cuba says hypnotherapist Donna Arlene failed at getting her to quit smoking. She wants her money back.
Miss Cubas, what is it that you are suing Miss Arlene for?
Originally, Your Honor, I asked her for a refund so I could go to another hypnotist, someone that would hypnotize me to stop smoking and not do psychic things to me.
And what did she say?
I wasn't the one that asked her for the refund. My husband did.
You asked her for the refund?
Yes, I...
When did you call her, Mr. Cubas?
I believe I called her on the 21st of July, Your Honor.
Tell me about your conversation.
I explained to her that Frida was very upset and very frightened by the prognosis that she had given about the entity that was in her solar plexus. And I told her we didn't believe in that kind of thing, and I told her that I felt that Frida was entitled to a refund.
And what did she say to you?
She then said, look, I don't give refunds.
Okay. All right, Ms. Harley, I don't believe that based upon the fact that Ms. Cubas may still be smoking, that she is entitled to her money back. She didn't guarantee you that you would stop smoking. She said there's a 95% chance. Well, you may fit into that 5%. Certainly, those people that use gum, patches, pills, all the things that you can get by either prescription or over the counter, if they were 100% effective, then nobody in this country should or probably would be smoking. But the truth of the matter is, some people are successful with them and some people are not. It depends upon a lot of variables. The only question that I have is, you signed on for hypnotherapy to stop smoking. I want you to get to this vision.
Okay. On the second session, when Frida came in, we did the session, and many times if I feel a person is troubled or there's negative energy around them, I do a clearance with my hands just of the energy around them before they leave. So I did that. I just brought my hands just to clear the energy around them. Okay? So I just did the clearing the energy, and as I came down to the end and went to brush away from her feet, I saw this entity. It just was, what I saw was just a circle with a man's face that looked grimacing. And it kind of surprised me because I've never had that happen to me. So when I went home that evening, I explained it to my daughter who has psychic abilities. And I just said, you know, something happened today and I'm concerned about it. So I explained to her what I saw, and she goes, I wonder why they would choose to show you that there. And I said, I don't know. And she goes, well, maybe you can help her by telling her, but ask her a couple of questions first. Ask her if she's been having a lot of pain in her solar plexus. Before that, when we first had the consultation, she had shared with me that she had used a psychic over the internet before, and we had talked about being an open spirit. So I asked her these questions, and then I told her, I said, I saw something, and I'm a little reluctant to say anything to you, but since we've talked about this before, I thought maybe it might help you if I shared it with you. It's up to you. And she goes, well, sure. Go ahead. We're both spiritual people. And I said, okay. So I explained to her what I'd seen, and I said, you know, I can't tell you anything about it because it's never happened to me before. I don't know. And
you weren't at that point, and certainly Ms. Cubas doesn't suggest at that point that you were using this as a ploy to get you to become a steady psychic customer.
I'm not sure of that, Your Honor. She did tell me I could come back.
That's different. Did she or did she not, Ms. Cubas, say to you, this has never happened to me before?
I don't remember her saying that because she frightened me so badly.
Okay. You did, Ms. Cubas, however, tell me that she asked you whether you wanted her to share with you this vision that she had had, and you said yes.
Yes, that's correct.
And you also, according to you, when you left, hugged her. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is it that makes you suggest, I mean, there are some people that believe in these psychic sightings and some people that don't. I can't put myself into the head of either one of those groups. But what is it that suggests to you that Miss Arlene was a charlatan?
Because I did not go to her for psychic treatment or that. I went to her to stop smoking. Not once during that session did she say anything to me about not smoking except to eat the grapes when I felt like not having a cigarette. Nothing was ever suggested to me to quit smoking or any suggestions or anything. When she told me about this psychic thing, she said, do you know anyone with an oval face, wrinkles, long hair, and a beard? And I thought to myself,
you already told me that. That's
no.
Not my, you already told me that. Ms. Cubas, you don't have a viable lawsuit against the defendant. She is a certified hypnotherapist. She's been practicing for 8 years. That's her treatment plan. It didn't work for you. And the fact that she had this vision, I assume it was legitimate, or at least she perceived it to be legitimate. She asked you whether you wanted her to reveal it to you. You said yes. She did not follow through. I assume that she told you that Her daughter has psychic ability. She discussed it with her daughter. Her daughter said it's a good thing to share with her. She shared it with you. She asked you, I'm speaking, she asked you whether or not you wanted her to share it with you. Have you gone to another hypnotherapist since?
No.
No. Are you still smoking?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, we're talking about a long time ago. How come you didn't go to somebody else?
Because it frightened me. I wanted to wait to see if I could get to find somebody reputable or that wouldn't do the psychic. Your Honor, she did not ask me anything except if I would like to communicate with this thing after she told me about it.
Ms. Cubas, 2 seconds ago you told me that you didn't remember. Now what you're telling me is you remember, and what she said to you was, do you wish me to find out what this person is, who this person is? And you said, yes.
And this was after
just
she
a
had
second. And you said, yes. You didn't say to her, no, I don't believe in that stuff. I think there's a lot of baloney. I'm here to stop smoking. You said,
yes.
Yes. Your case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
That's one of the best ways to quit smoking.
When I wanted a cigarette, just say,
Play a better game of golf.
I think I want a cigarette.
Get rid of fears, phobias.
But not now, later.
Pass tests, do public speaking.
I think I'll have a handful of grapes.
I never told her to eat grapes.
Well, how many grapes can one person eat before they start having other problems?
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Yeager versus Sutton. Step forward, please.
Operations trainer Brenda Yeager is suing construction worker Albert Sutton for medical bills and pain and suffering on behalf of her 8-year-old son, Jacob. Brenda says Jacob broke both of his arms when Albert threw him in the air and dropped him.
Hi, Mr. Sutton. I hardly know what to say to you, sir. Bird, 30 seconds or less. I assume that this is the young man who was injured. They were playing a game, some sort of a game in a park. Miss Yeager is going to tell me. What kind of game was it?
Soccer practice.
Soccer practice. And Mr. Sutton has a child?
Yes.
Who was also at the soccer practice. And during a break in the activity, Mr. Sutton was playing with the kids. He is not a bad man. He is not an evil man. He's not a malicious man. He's just, let me be kind, short-sighted. So he was throwing his son up in the air, right?
Yes.
And when he got finished throwing his son up in the air and catching him, he threw up Mrs. Yeager's son. I mean, he didn't throw up Mrs. Yeager. He threw Mrs. Yeager's son up in the air. And he didn't catch him. And he fell and broke both arms. That's what happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
And he was in casts, and he was out of commission for a while. When did this happen?
October 28th, 2003.
And Ms. Yeager is suing Mr. Sutton for $5,000 for both their out-of-pocket medical expenses and for pain and suffering. So now that I've given you the backdrop, because this is not difficult, the facts were not difficult, they were almost conceded by the parties, Mr. Sutton, I will hear you.
When my son had his break, he asked me to throw him up in the air. I caught him. Other kids saw it. They asked their parents if they could do it. I threw up 4 or 5 other kids before I got the Jacob. Jacob, I threw up. He pushed off my chest. I couldn't catch him or get to him as quick as possible. And that's when he fell and hit the ground. But he asked his dad for permission, because my son even saw him go over and ask him and hurt him.
Did you give permission to Mr. Sutton to throw your son up in the air?
No, ma'am.
Tell me your name.
Matt Riceback.
What did you hear, Matt?
I heard Jacob walk up to his dad, and he asked his dad, he said, "Dad, could that guy throw me up?" And his dad said, "Yeah."
Okay, I like analogies. Let's say you were a very experienced archer. And what you used to do with your son was you would have him sit under a tree and put an apple on top of his head. And split the apple in 2 with your bow and arrow. And your son was used to that. And he would sit there very quietly, very still, and you thought it was okay to do that. And then Jacob said, "Oh, I want to do that." And let's say I believe your son, which I don't, that he heard him go over to his father and said, "Could I sit under a tree and let Mr. Sutton put an apple on top of my head and try to knock it off with an arrow?" And his father, in some psychotic break, said, sure. And Jacob sat under the tree. You put an apple on his head. Unfortunately, Jacob wasn't as good at it as your son, and he zigged. And you got him instead of the apple. Whose fault would that be? Jacob's?
No, ma'am.
His father's?
No, ma'am.
You get my point? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. McMahon versus McMahon. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Mr. McMahon, how long have you and the defendant been married?
11 years before separation.
Altogether, how many years have you been married?
20 years.
And how long has it been since the two of you lived together?
9.
You have children?
Yes.
How many children?
1.
How old is that child?
He's 17.
Your complaint says that your wife flooded your boat while she was out on the lake. Your boat was out on the lake, and she decided to sort of vandalize your boat while she was in her wave runner. That's what the case is about,
correct.
that she seized the motor because she flooded the boat, and you want her to pay for the damage to the boat. But I have a few questions before I get there. When I read in your complaint that you and the defendant was separated for almost 10 years, I wondered why two people, if they're separated for almost 10 years, are not divorced.
Well, it was filed in 96, and...
Who filed for divorce in 1996?
I did.
Okay.
So it's gone on for mostly assets, whose is what it's worth. It's gone to mediation, status conference hearings year after year. We're presently mediation. They should have the following report. Should be ended.
Are you a
this
very
month.
rich man?
No, ma'am.
Are you a very rich woman?
No.
Well, then what are we arguing about?
I don't know.
What are we arguing about?
Well, we had quite a bit of assets.
Like what?
We had a business together. We had been together for 20 years, so...
No, you haven't been together for 20 years. You've been together 11 years.
Well, we lived together for a few years before, but we had vehicles and a lot of assets through our business.
Miss McMahon, how old are you?
I'm 48.
So that at the time that you and your husband separated, you were 39 years old. Is that right? A young woman. And you want a divorce?
Yes.
How old are you?
50.
You have a girlfriend?
Yes.
Is that this lady?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been together?
4 years now.
You have a boyfriend?
Yes, I do.
How long have you been together?
About a year.
It's time.
Yes, ma'am.
I know. You two people are taking that very precious window. If you think of it this way, you're close to 50. For almost 20% of your life, you've been feuding. I mean, if you think about it. If you think about the fact that you don't grow up really until you're 20, and you're almost 50, that means for almost a third of your life, you've been feuding. You, a little less than that. Is that ridiculous? Ridiculous! Do you have lawyers?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a lawyer?
Not anymore, because I've spent so much money on attorneys.
Right! Crazy people. All right. Tell me about this flooding of your boat.
Well, as in the police report, we spend a year every year at the river for 10 days.
Who does?
My girlfriend and myself. So on the second day of our vacation, went for a boat ride in the morning, and the boat wasn't running right, so I was adjusting the idle. The next thing I know, a wall of water hits me, almost knocks me out of the boat, and the engine locks up.
And that was your wife?
Yes.
And did you see how she sprayed your boat and you with a wall of water?
Well, at the time I didn't see it because I was working on the engine, but when everything cleared and settled down, I looked, and there she was on the wave runner with her soon-to-be daughter-in-law. And I yelled at her, I said, "You idiot, you have no idea what you've just done." And she says, "He happens at the river," and drove off.
Nice.
Very nice.
And your boat was damaged?
Very much so, yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, after the bilge pumps came on, we had to bail the water out to keep it from sinking because it's been swamped before by bigger boats and it sank, so she knew what she was doing. We put it on the trailer. We had to walk on the trailer because the engine didn't run.
You have a picture of this boat?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please? While I'm looking at it, how big is this river?
It's 17 miles long from dam to dam.
So it's a big river.
Yes, Colorado
You just
River.
happened to find yourself in the same place at the same time?
No, the mediator explained to us that he let her know we were going on vacation and weren't available for a court appearance, and I think it was intentional that she was there at the same time we were.
Oh, so you had a court appearance?
Yes, and we canceled because of our vacation and our work schedules. We went to the river, and we missed the court date, and obviously he told her that where we were going to be.
How long in advance was this court date scheduled?
Probably 60 days.
So 2 months?
Yeah.
And you had to pick that time to go on vacation? Don't you want to get this whole process over with?
Oh, I'd love to.
So why'd you go on vacation when you had a court appearance?
Well, because we weren't ready for the status conference hearing. The mediator wasn't ready, wasn't done with his
like
report.
what? What did you need?
Well, I needed him to finish his report, and he couldn't finish it in
Finish his
that
report
time.
about what?
About the business assets. We had an auto repair business that lasted a whole year and a half, and Mrs. McMahon thinks it's worth millions of dollars.
And did you sell it?
No. Just closed
Well,
the
what do you
doors
think
and
happened to the business?
He actually moved the business to his residence.
Yeah.
In Carlsbad from our business in Oceanside. The lot that we had there was over an acre lot, so he had plenty of room to do auto repairs.
You're not talking about, you know, Boeing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He sued me for paternity on our son.
Oh, you thought that it might not be your child?
Biologically, he's not my child. No.
Oh, my goodness, how you people screwed up your lives. I just can't believe it.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Steve McMahon says his estranged wife, Cheryl McMahon, flooded his boat, nearly sinking it. Cheryl says the incident was instigated by Steve's anger.
Madam, you're talking about, at best, a little mom-and-pop operation out of his house. Is that what you are holding hope of getting millions of dollars out of?
No. What I hope to is to get a loan paid off that Mr. McMahon made for this business. That was my hopes.
Okay, and is it a loan that you're responsible for?
Both of us are responsible for it.
Have you been paying it?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been paying it?
Yes, I paid up to 97 or 98.
Well, that's a long time ago. Who's been paying it since 97?
I don't know.
I have.
You have?
Yes.
How much?
It's like $19,000 I've paid against it.
Since 1997?
Yes.
Do you know that?
Well, the loan was only for $20,000, and we paid on it for almost 2 years before that. So
Yeah, but you know that could have been interest. You know, now she says
no, there was
she
no
said,
interest. There was
shh. Listen to me. What she says is she just wants to be absolved of at least half of this debt.
May I respond?
Yeah, sure.
This is why we're going through all these years of court proceedings, because all the receipts and checks and canceled, everything we present in the matter of this loan is fraudulent. So it goes on.
Just one
and
second.
on.
You have $19,000 that she said she's paid so far. Anything else owing on the loan?
Yes, ma'am.
How much?
I think it's about $7,000 or $8,000 right now.
What is that, just interest?
It was a 15-year loan, and our payments were $225 a month.
Okay, so the first couple of years you paid Mr. McMahon, forget it. You know, I mean, that's ancient history. Okay? There's this big piece left. Why don't you just cut it in half and say this was a marital debt, over, finished. Pay it and goodbye. Did you pay a lawyer more than $15,000 over the last 9 years?
Actually, I couldn't answer that question because I haven't got a bill from him, but I'm sure it's going to be expensive.
Ma'am?
What?
It cost him $13,000 to take me to court for paternity.
Take you to court for what paternity?
He sued me for paternity on our son.
Oh, you thought that
So-
it might not be your child? Is that what you're telling me?
Biologically, he's not my child, no.
Was that established in the paternity test?
Because the way the law is written in California, if you raise a child over 2 years, he automatically becomes your responsibility.
Have you been supporting him?
Yes.
Well, oh my goodness, how you people screwed up your lives. I just can't believe it. And I have a sense that if I saw you back here in 10 years, you're going to be in the same spot. Just frittering away your whole lives over spite and meanness and nastiness and stupidity. Instead of just putting a period, moving on and saying, listen, I have a chance to have the rest of my life free and clear. Let me just do it. All this is money, and it's not major money. It's just I've been paying it anyway. Let me just get over it. Here's some money. Here's my half. Goodbye and good luck. Let me have a happy life. Listen, how did it come about that you flooded his boat? You flooded his boat, right?
I did get water on his boat, yes.
Good. Okay. So now you're going to tell me how it came about that you flooded his boat.
Well, on August 13th, and to get back to the vacation, I vacationed out there that week because it's my birthday week every year since Steve and I separated. So he was very aware that I was going to be out there. I had no idea he was going to be out there.
Just tell me why you flooded his boat.
So our son went upriver on the wave runner, came back down and said, Dad's upriver. Can I go up there and ride in the boat? Well, because there's stipulations regarding the girlfriend on visitation, I needed to make sure that it was okay through Steve.
Why? What's wrong with the girlfriend?
Well, there's been drug and alcohol problems.
Well, did you ask your son whether the girlfriend was in the boat?
He didn't see her.
So then his father was alone in the boat. So what'd you have to go up there for?
Well, I needed to make sure that things were appropriate up there.
What does that mean? His father was out on the river in a boat. He's 17 years old.
No, he's 16.
See, he's 16 years old, and he wanted to go on the boat with his father.
Can I respond to that?
No.
Okay.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Steve McMahon claims his wife, Cheryl McMahon, sank his ski boat out of revenge.
Go ahead.
So I went up along with Terry, my girlfriend. There was nobody. The boat was in the water. At that time, I took some pictures of the boat.
Why?
So that I could go back and show the court that the boat was in running operations. We were supposed to have it appraised out, but Mr. McMahon wouldn't agree to that. So we had to get a court order for that.
Just a second. So you just happened to have a camera on your wave runner.
Mm-hmm.
You just happened to have a camera on your wave. Just a second. On your wave runner when you went up river with this lady. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I always have a camera in there.
Always have a camera. Keep going.
Okay. He wasn't there. I went back down to camp. A little while later, I went for a ride, and I wasn't planning on seeing Mr. McMahon at that time, with Jessica. And we went upriver, and then on our way back, we seen that Steve was sitting in the boat.
Yes.
And I started to go closer to him.
Why?
Well, because I was going to ask him if it was okay for Stephen to be up there. And at that time, when he looked up and seen that it was me, he raised his hand up over his head with a tool or something, like he was going to throw it at it, and he's yelling at us to get that out of there.
Yes.
And so at that point, Jessica was screaming. I was concerned that he was going to hit me with something or hit Jessica. So I turned the wave runner and splashed him.
What a baloney
Went back
story.
to
What
camp.
a baloney story. I never heard such a baloney story in my life, Miss McMahon. You know, if you spend 10 years of your life angry, men fare better physically when they get when they're angry. Women get all these nasty lines and they get to look much older than their years. If you spend so much of your life being bitter, I suggest you get over it. How much did it cost to fix your boat?
$3,400.80.
How much is the boat worth?
Well, it was appraised at $8,000.
Let me see.
The appraisal or the receipt?
Both.
I don't have an appraisal. Because she had it done, I never got a copy of it.
Just a second. When did you buy this boat?
1976.
Listen to me. I'm not a stupid person. The boat's 30 years old. Show me an appraisal, sir.
I don't have a copy of the appraisal.
How large is this
She
boat?
can verify the appraisal. Her appraiser did the work.
Just a minute. How large is this boat?
It's an 18-foot. It's a classic V drive. It goes up in value.
A classic.
Goes up in value.
Okay. Let me see the paid bill. How long was your boat out of commission after this flooding?
All summer, the rest of the season.
Had it been running prior thereto?
Oh, yes.
Judge Judy?
Yes.
Can I give you a receipt from, a letter from CarQuest that's stating that that invoice that he gave you is not an invoice that they can locate
Oh, yeah, I'd
or
love
that
to see
date?
I'd love to see
And
that.
that they use generated, computer-generated receipts.
Can I see that, please?
I can also show you.
Show this to the plaintiff, please.
Can I respond to that as well without looking at it? This is brought
Sure
to
can before I give him a call.
brought to my attention. Go ahead. Brought to my attention this yesterday from the harassing phone call that she made to CarQuest corporate headquarters. Now, this is the mechanic that repaired the boat who works for CarQuest, but he uses their format for his own receipts. Here's a letter from the mechanic
Just a
that
second.
works for CarQuest.
Just a second. Let me see it.
It's a private individual that was between him and I.
Well,
Has
you're
nothing to
talking
do with-
about this guy.
Yes, has nothing to do with CarQuest.
So what you're telling me now is that despite the fact that you're using CarQuest invoice, CarQuest did not do the work on this boat. Someone who worked for CarQuest did this work for you on his own time
That's correct.
and just used one of their forms in order to show how much money you spent on the boat. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling
That's the
me?
receipt he gave me, yeah.
Is that what you're telling me?
That's the receipt he gave me.
And this is what you're giving me. You didn't tell me that that was the case. You gave me something with a card, which would lead me to believe, sir, that this company prepared this receipt, and that's a lie. Is that right?
I don't know. He gave me the receipt. I don't think
Just
it's a
listen
lie.
to me. You just said to me, this is somebody that didn't do it while they were working for CarQuest. This is somebody who did it on his own time. He just used one of their invoices.
Well, he used it. I didn't use it. It's a discontinued work order from CarQuest that he uses for his own personal use.
You're slippery. Did you take the boat to CarQuest?
No, I took it to his house. But he works for CarQuest. I didn't even think anything about it.
You want to know something?
Yes.
I believe that you spent some money to fix this boat. And I was prepared to rule in your favor. Because I think that she purposely and maliciously damaged your boat. That's what you did. You were angry and you purposely and maliciously damaged his boat. You flooded it. You knew you flooded it. I don't believe your baloney story about making sure that the boat was safe for your 16-year-old son when you went up there with somebody with a camera in hand on a wave runner. People usually don't do that. And you went up there to take a picture, according to you, of the boat in the water because you wanted it for the purpose of appraisal. So I don't believe you. And I believe that you purposely flooded his boat. I think that you presented me with a false document. And people who present courts with false documents don't get cut any slack, Mr. McMahon. You understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're going to pay for this boat yourself. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Thank you. I'm just happy.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Sir, have a seat, please.
Miss Osland, you're really involved with this case. Is this your husband?
Yes, it is.
Your daughter had a baby. Is this
Yes,
your
it
first
is.
grandchild?
Yes, ma'am.
And according to you, you bought a camcorder for her to record and memorialize the baby's first smile, coming home, and you loaned it to her.
Yes, ma'am.
And she refuses to return it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
But what I gather precipitated this bad blood between you and your daughter, I'm sure there's a lot more underneath,
Oh, yes.
is that at some point you went to a shopping mall to take pictures of the new baby, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And they took pictures of the new baby that was supposed to be your pictures.
Yes, ma'am.
And your daughter and you had some sort of a falling out. So she went to pick up the pictures. There was a fight, so now you want the pictures and you want the camcorder. Daughter says the camcorder was a gift, and I don't know what she says about the pictures.
That's not true, Your Honor.
Okay. When the baby was born, was everybody happy?
Yes. She invited me down to the delivery room, and I was in the delivery room.
Is that
with her
right?
and everything, yes.
Yes, Your Honor, I did invite her.
So everything was okay. So the baby was born.
Yes, ma'am.
Boy or girl?
Little girl.
How long did you stay in the hospital?
Less than 24 hours.
So it was an easy delivery,
Very.
in and out? Or just out?
Quick.
Who took you home from the hospital?
My boyfriend did.
You're the boyfriend?
Yes.
And you live together with your boyfriend?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any plans to get married?
Not right now.
Any reason?
Just not ready.
Ready to have a baby but not get married?
It wasn't planned.
But you are living together as a family?
Yes.
When did you buy the camcorder? Before or after the baby was born?
Before.
And when did you physically allow your daughter to have possession of the camcorder?
It was, let's see, a day after the baby was born. My sister had just had a baby, too, and then we all went to the hospital after she had her baby.
So you saw her in the hospital?
Yes.
And is that when you turned the camcorder over to her?
Yes.
She's
And-
lying. She gave it to me a week before the baby was born.
So let me hear your version of what happened.
Okay, we went to the hospital, me and my sister, to visit, and then I gave my daughter, that day I gave her a Harley Davidson outfit that my husband wanted the baby to wear.
Okay.
And the camcorder.
What did you say to her when you gave her the camcorder?
I told her, this is to film your baby with.
And that's what you said to her?
Yeah, I didn't say it was a gift.
You didn't say it was a gift?
No,
According
ma'am,
to
I
you, you
didn't.
didn't say it was a gift, and you didn't say, I'm loaning this to you. You said, I want you to use this to record the
Yes,
baby.
ma'am. Yes.
Now, according to you, let me hear your version of how the camcorder came into your possession.
I was on maternity leave. I went on maternity leave a week early from work, and I went over to visit, and they gave it to me in a little Harley-Davidson handle bag. And they said that it was a gift. It was supposed to be for Christmas, but since I was having a baby, they gave it to me early.
And did you record the baby?
No, we haven't.
Why not?
We've had many photo albums. We're using the
Okay, so
camera
you-
more often.
Okay. So, now you're going to take pictures of the baby. How old was the baby when you went to take the pictures at the mall?
Almost a month.
Tell me how that came about.
She wanted to take pictures. We went to the mall.
You went to a studio?
Yes,
in the mall?
JCPenney.
And you have to pay for those pictures?
Yes.
Did your mother pay for them?
She paid for them on her check card.
So it's clear that the pictures were for her, right?
The agreement was for both of us.
No.
Probably for both of you. Probably for both of you. But it was clear that the pictures were her idea. She paid for them.
Yes.
And she was going to pick them up.
Yes.
But you went to pick them up. Tell me why.
We had an argument about a week before the pictures were supposed to come in.
What was the argument about?
Me going down to Louisiana for Thanksgiving.
No. That's...
Just a minute. You... Yes?
She was mad that I was taking our daughter down to Louisiana to see his sister, and that she never gets to see the baby. And then I knew she wasn't going to give his family any of the pictures because she even said so. So I went and picked them up 2 days early, and I offered her the money.
What was the fight about?
It was about him not claiming her baby. He doesn't want to claim the baby because he doesn't think it's his.
I already have claimed the baby.
Shh. That's good.
No, I'm asking you what the fight was about. It wasn't about Thanksgiving?
No, ma'am. It was about him claiming her baby. And she said, since I didn't like Chris because he wouldn't claim the baby, then I can't see my grandchild. And I haven't seen her since.
You swore against her?
Let's deal with the pictures first. It was spiteful to go and have to pick up the pictures 2 days early.
Yes, I know.
Okay, and I think you understand that. And that precipitated, I want my camcorder back. Otherwise, if everything was going just fine, the camcorder would have remained with your daughter to take pictures of the baby because that's really what you bought it for.
Yes.
But when she didn't give you the pictures back, and then you got to the house and there was an altercation about the pictures, because then you went there, according to what
Yes,
I read,
I
and said,
did. And I got slapped in the mouth besides.
Give me the pictures, and that was terrible. How old are you?
21.
And you?
Almost.
23.
Other than this incident and the normal kind of things that you have with parents, especially that girls have with their mothers, you know, that's a very unique kind of relationship. It's very often this love-hate thing that goes back and forth as you're getting older. Usually it resolves itself when girls are about 30. So you have 9 years left.
Thanks.
But usually it resolves itself. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your mother. It's a very bad thing not to talk to your daughter.
Yeah, I know that.
And somehow daughters tend to stay angry.
Very.
Your mother was excited about your baby after she resigned the fact that you were having one.
Yeah.
No, she wasn't.
Well, you asked her to be in the delivery room. She came. According to you, she bought you a camcorder. She was interested enough that she wanted to have pictures of the baby to show around, right?
Yes.
So she was involved.
After a while, yes.
Well, it takes some time, Julie.
She wanted me to abort it at first.
Julie, listen to me. She's got a 21, then maybe 20-year-old, beautiful daughter who is intelligent, with hopefully a bright future, who comes to her and says, I'm pregnant, I'm going to have this baby, I'm going to live with my boyfriend, we're not ready to commit to marriage, but we're going to live together. You think she should throw a party? No. Julie, I guarantee you, if your daughter comes to you and says the same thing, you know what you're going to do? You're going to be nuts. Because that's the natural thing. I mean, parents only want what's best for their kids. And certainly this baby at your age, being not married, is complicating your very young life. You don't expect your mother to be ecstatic about that.
No.
But ultimately, she came to accept it. You have the pictures of the baby?
Not with, no.
It's a very easy thing to make copies of those pictures. Have you done that?
No.
Will you do that?
For her?
Yes.
I don't want her having them.
Julie, you haven't heard anything that I said, darling.
Your Honor,
Okay.
I don't want the pictures. I just want the money. I want to be done with
Well,
this.
how much were the pictures?
They were $182.47.
You are absolutely entitled to the money for the pictures.
Yes,
I
I
think
want
that the
money.
camcorder is a different story. I honestly believe that the camcorder was given to your daughter and that the reason you now say you want it back is because of this terrible altercation with regard to these pictures and the fight that you had, which should have been over a long time ago. But Julie, you're still angry.
Yes, I am.
Get unangry.
I'm more hurt.
Join the crowd.
Parent, listen to me. Parents aren't perfect. Doesn't mean that your mother loved you any less. She came around eventually, right?
Yes.
Came around.
It's been going on for 8 years now, though.
Practically since you became a teenager.
Yes.
Wait until your daughter turns 13.
Yeah, I can't wait. You know what, Your Honor? I can't wait.
Trust me. You'll see your daughter doing certain things. You'll try to discourage her from doing those things, and there's that friction. And it's usually with mothers who had made sufficient number of mistakes to say, listen, I made those mistakes. I don't want my daughter to do what I did. And then there is a clash, and it usually doesn't get over for a long time. So try to get unangry. Parents aren't perfect. Kids aren't perfect. There is that unconditional love you're supposed to have. And equally as important, you don't deprive your daughter of a grandparent. Children, little children, like that community of affection.
His family is big enough.
Do you know what the divorce rate is in this country?
Very high.
50%. Do you know what that percentage goes to with people who are living together without benefit of marriage, who can't make up their minds? Probably 90%. So there is a 90% chance that you and this young man will not be together in 10 years. She'll always be your mother. And after the two of you have gone your own separate ways, hopefully amicably, because there's a 90% chance that that's going to happen, maybe your daughter will see her paternal family. Maybe. Because usually when two people separate, there's usually lots of hostility. There's lack of child support, there's lack of all those other things. So usually it's not so amicable. But she'll always be your mother. So what you're saying now is very youthful. You know, he's got a big enough family. I've heard that before. You only have one mother. And she's not perfect. I guarantee you she's not perfect. But you got to get the mad off. It eats you up inside. Try at least. Anyway, pay for the pictures, $182.47. Maybe you can go out for a cup of coffee. That's it.
Parties are excused. You can step out.
She's not going to see her granddaughter, and we're not going to have a relationship anymore.
I think it turned out good. At least I got the money back for the pictures. As far as not seeing my granddaughter, I will.
And now the next case.
All parties on Bryant versus Williford. Step forward, please.
41-year-old homemaker Loretta Bryant is suing 40-year-old surgical technician Lori Williford. Loretta claims Lori's son, 17-year-old Matthew, assaulted her daughter with an ashtray.
Miss Bryant, you and the defendant at one point shared a home together.
No, ma'am. It was my daughter, Rhiannon.
Do you know anything about
I'm suing
this?
in behalf of my daughter because she's a minor child.
Okay, why don't you have a seat, please? Step up. You shared a home with the defendant.
Yes, ma'am, I did. Him and his girlfriend, Melissa.
Are you the mother, too?
I'm the mother, too.
Would you sit down? Stand up here. According to your complaint, an incident occurred where the defendant assaulted you with an object.
An ashtray.
Go ahead.
They had stayed out all night, him and his friend. Melissa was very worried. They came in. Matt proceeded to tell her that he did not love her, he did not want to be with her, and he wanted to move out. After we had spent all this money in getting a house, his friend was being very rude to me. He was calling me names, and I kicked him out of my house.
How did you do that?
I struck him in the head a few times.
With what?
And the phone. He had the phone in his hands.
So you struck his friend?
Yeah, his friend. I made him leave. I went back to my room. I heard one loud sound, and that was when ashtray hit my door. It made a hole in my door about this big around. I opened the door, and the other ashtray hit me.
Where did the ashtray hit you?
It hit me on my arm, right here. My arm immediately swelled up. The police came. They said seek medical attention. We did not press charges because that night Matt had said he was sorry and that he was going to pay my hospital bill.
How much was your hospital bill?
It was $225.
Was that an emergency room visit?
Yes, it was not the hospital. It was a place called EmergiCare, and it's just like a little facility where you go and reach medical attention right then and there.
Okay. What other bills did you have as a result of your injured arm?
I was out of work.
For how long?
2 days.
What was your wage each day? What did you take home each day?
I would say anywhere from $32 to $36 for both days together.
For both days? Mm-hmm. Let's hear it.
All right. I left the night before because of drug use had been going on. And I come back, and it was about 9 o'clock in the morning, me and my friend Jonathan. Her and Jonathan started saying something to each other, and he said some vulgar stuff to her, and she hit him in the head with the phone. I told her to get out my face. She went in the bedroom, and I was very frustrated.
So she got out of your face?
Yeah, right.
As you had requested?
Yes, ma'am.
Pick it up from there.
All right. I picked up an ashtray and threw it towards the door.
What'd you do that for?
I was mad.
Okay.
And
so you hit the door.
I hit the door, and I picked up another one and threw it the same direction. The door was closed out, and then she opened the door and the ashtray hit her. I freaked out because, I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. And I took off out the door because I didn't know what to do.
So then you admit that you threw an ashtray.
Yes, ma'am.
The ashtray hit her in her arm.
Yes, ma'am.
You got scared and you left.
Yes, ma'am.
Why didn't you pay the medical bill?
I did not have that kind of money at the time.
You want to say something? Yeah. Go ahead.
I talked with Miss Bryant. She called me a few weeks after this happened, and I told her, I said, I do not have that kind of money. I'll be willing to work with you, but I don't have that kind of money. And she was just very ugly, cussing me out, and I said, whatever you got to do with this, go ahead and do. Because she was very vulgar to talk with.
No, ma'am, that's not how it happened. He agreed to pay her bill. 2 days later, he's like, I'm not paying it, do whatever it is you got to do. I called her on the phone, and yes, we did have some words, but she was just as heated as I was because we were both frustrated at the situation. I did not cuss her out. That's a barefaced lie.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Why didn't you pay this bill?
I didn't feel responsible to have to pay it.
Why?
It wouldn't ever have occurred if she wouldn't have started it.
Can I see those ashtrays, please? Bird, thank you. Even though you didn't intend to hurt her, you intended to vent your frustration at the door, right?
Correct.
Which is the ashtray that hit you?
The blue one. It had charcoal on it.
Just a minute. That's a pretty heavy weapon, you know. You could kill somebody with that?
I was not thinking at the time.
Right. Well, if you're not thinking, then you're acting stupid. And if you're acting stupid and you cause injury to somebody, you have to pay for it. Right?
Yes.
All right. I'm going to say one thing to you. The person that you hit on the head with the telephone would have the same complaint about you. And the first person to use any physical force, was who?
That was me.
Right. Not smart. So the violence in that, the physical violence, was started really by your daughter. Not against him, but against somebody else. You are clearly responsible for the injury to her arm. I don't have your friend Jonathan here, who was clobbered over the head, so I don't have to deal with that. Was there any repercussion as a result of that assault?
No, ma'am.
Jonathan just took care of the bump on his head, is that right?
Jonathan had a lot of personal problems anyway.
Well, being hit on the head with a telephone didn't help. All right, the bills that I see here, are, together with the medical bill, $261. So what do you think that Matt should pay?
I think Matt should at least pay the bills. Pay what he agreed to pay.
Absolutely right. And for your day's wages.
Mm-hmm.
$261, judgment for the plaintiff, that's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Kind of disappointed.
This is case number 385 on the calendar in the matter of Blaylock versus Jackson. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Blaylock, according to your complaint, you were driving your car. The defendant was a pedestrian. Did you know him from before this incident?
No, I didn't.
Had you ever seen him before?
No, I didn't.
You were driving your car. According to you, the defendant came up to your car, broke your car window, causing glass to go in your face. You want him to pay for the car window as well as for a rental car that you had to rent while your car was being fixed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and where did this happen?
On the north side of town in Jacksonville, Florida.
Tell me what kind of roadway that is. Is it a two-lane roadway? Is it 4 lanes?
It's a 2-lane road in a residential area.
1 lane in each direction?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Okay, basically I was going down the road, and it's like a 30-mile-per-hour road. So I was driving, and I saw him approaching, coming across the street. And he really wasn't paying attention, so I kind of slowed down. I tooted my horn, and I pointed, to the direction of the sidewalk, like requesting him to go to the sidewalk. So he said something, but I really couldn't hear him because my windows was up. So he kept walking or whatever in front of my car.
What do you mean he kept walking in front of your car? Was he going from one side of the street to the other?
He was steadily walking ahead. He began to walk ahead.
You mean in the street where the cars go?
Yes.
So was he walking in the same direction you were?
Yes.
So he's walking in the same direction you were, but he's walking in the street where the single lane of cars going in one direction had to go, and he was walking. Okay. How much in the street was he?
I guess 3 to 4 feet in the street.
Okay. And he was walking in the same direction as your car?
Yes.
You tooted the horn. Did he turn around when you tooted the horn?
Yes, he did. So I rolled my window down, and I was like, could you get out of the street? So he began to curse, and I'm a pedestrian, I don't have to move, or whatever other words he was saying. But I was saying, well, you still need to get out of the street. So it was a verbal, confrontation. So then a school bus came. So the school bus, because I was gonna go around him instead of driving my car on the side, on the sidewalk and the grass, the school bus came. So the school bus stopped. The kids got off of the bus, so that he was still in the middle of the street doing this process. So then kids began to walk through. He was still acting irate and cursing. So then that made where I couldn't even go around because the kids came to a complete stop watching him. So I was, after the kids that were walking, towards the apartment complex, after that area was clear, I was gonna go in the grass and go around him. So I rolled my window back up, I rolled to the side. He began to approach my car. So I couldn't just speed, in that area because of the kids that were walking, and he was up to my car cursing. But as he is cursing, I'm not even really looking at him. I'm trying to hurry up and get away from him, but I didn't want to hit a child. All of a sudden, he bust my window with his hand.
Which window did he bust?
He bust my driver's side window. So I grabbed my cellular phone. I said, now I'm calling the police. So he was cursing. So after, you know, everything was clear, I just went ahead and went, you know, blowed my horn, move, and I went because I didn't want him to further put his hands on me. As I turned the corner, I was calling the police, but the police was already coming. I flagged him down and told him that a person I didn't know had just struck my window, broke it, and struck me. When the police followed me back to the complex, Mr. Jackson was nowhere in sight. We found Mr. Jackson in the back of the apartment complex around other people, and he was just stating that I ran over his feet, his arm was bleeding. He said I ran over his arm, so the officer was ready to take me to jail. It was my word against his. The rescue came, and the rescue began to pick glass out of his arm. So then the officer was like, well, how did, you know, she run over your feet? I see no tire marks. How did she run over your arm? I see no, you know, where's the glass coming from? So he just went on, and the officer told me to be quiet and had me step to the side. So I really couldn't say whatever else he was saying.
Let me see the police report. You were not cited, Miss Baylock, is that right?
Both of us were giving, in my city, we get yellow cards to go downtown to the state attorney's office. At the beginning, I was given the card because I was the suspect, but after the rescue came and was picking glass out of his arm, he became a suspect also.
But nothing happened with either one of those cards?
Yes.
What happened with it?
Okay. I went to the state attorney's office to file my complaint because I didn't know him. And, you know, I just wanted to feel safe. I didn't know this man. I don't know, you know, what type of person he was. Okay, we had mediation. He made threats during the mediation, stated to me that he was going to sue me, made other threats stating that when he got through with me, I would be nobody, I would be nothing. So what
happened with that mediation?
Okay, they closed the mediation because he was very irate, and the person that was doing the mediation was like an older type senior citizen type person, and he was hollering too much, and the man couldn't speak over him, so we were supposed to be back down there. I received letters in the mail that he was suing me from my insurance company, and then I had several...
Do you have a lawsuit pending against her?
I have the paperwork
Just
right
a second.
here.
I'd like to see that too. So you don't have a lawsuit pending against her?
No, ma'am.
Did you file a claim with her insurance?
I had not filed a formal claim with her insurance company. What I had done was I had consulted a lawyer who put in a request to her insurance company about this situation at hand, and that's as far as it went.
Okay, so your lawyer sent a letter, and the insurance company sent a letter that they were not accepting your claim because they say, based on information that they have, that you intentionally put your arm through a window. Now I'm going to look through the police report. Okay. Let me hear your version of these events, Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am. On the morning, well, on the day that this thing occurred, I was crossing the street. I just stopped some kids from fighting. This was a school zone, total school zone. There's a big school there. I crossed the street. I'm on the sidewalk walking down the street. I'm going to visit my son at his mom's house. All of a sudden, she pulls up on the side of me, blowing her horn erratically and waving her hands. Then she rolls her window down and begins yelling and screaming and cursing at me. I asked her one time, I said, "Who are you and what do you want?"
She's in her car on the street.
"Yes, ma'am." And I tell her, I said, "What is it that you want from me? I don't even know you." At that time, she says, "Don't worry about it." And she speeds off. I kept walking down towards the entrance of these apartments. I didn't think anything else about her at this moment. I'm walking with a bunch of kids around me. Like I say, it's in the school zone, and the kids are just out of school. Right at the moment when I go inside of the gate of these apartments, all of a sudden I hear a car pull up behind me, and the tires are like dragging. At that time, she rolls her window down and yells at me, "Was there something that you want to say to me? So-and-so and so-and-so," just cursing me all out. I looked at her again, and I go, "I can't believe that you came back. What is it that you want? Who are you? I don't even know you." She says, "I should have ran you over before, and I will run you over now." So she backs her car up a little bit, cuts the wheels, and runs over me. At that time, when she hit me, the side of her car spent me around, and my arm went through her window, causing the window to break. I left there and went running through the apartments to go and try to get some help.
So according to your statement, Mr. Jackson, this person that you didn't know at all...
Yes, ma'am.
...was driving down the street.
Yes, ma'am, pretty much.
And for no earthly reason whatsoever, stopped her car at some point.
Yes, ma'am.
To verbally berate you, and then assault you. That's what you're telling me.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Jackson, she doesn't appear to me to be psychotic. She was coming from work, which I assume means that she wasn't drunk. Now, I want you to hold out your arm, sir, and show me where the glass was on your arm.
Where the glass was?
Yes.
It was around my
elbow.
Right.
Okay. And so you're telling me that she ran over your feet,
She ran over my feet. Yes, ma'am.
which the police say they saw no indication of tire marks or anything else on your shoes. I just don't understand how, if she ran over your feet, your elbow was injured.
It wasn't like that at all, Your Honor.
How was it, Mr. Jackson?
She pulled up behind me in the driveway of this apartment.
Yes.
She backed up, and when she ran over me, the side of her car mirror hit me and spent me around. Then she backed up across the street and tried to run over me again.
It's getting better. Do you have a hospital report, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
May I see it, please?
I've also had pictures.
I'm looking through these papers because you say that you were hit on the side by her mirror. There is no indication in the hospital chart of any bruise on your side, sir.
They didn't have any bruises on my feet either, Your Honor.
That's right,
But
they
I
didn't.
still got ran over by them.
I'm telling you, they have absolutely no bruises on your feet, none whatsoever.
They gave me x-rays at the hospital stating that none of my bones were broken, but my feet were swollen.
Oh, let's see if they say that. Did they say that anywhere in the hospital records?
They got it documented
Let's
on
see. The laceration was in your elbow.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see anything about swollen feet. Didn't say you could...
It should be in there.
Well, I don't see it, sir. Now, the only other thing I have to ask you, Miss Baylock, is, am I correct that at one point you actually drove your car up on the sidewalk?
Yes, ma'am.
Why did you do that?
Because I was scared of him.
It's dangerous, Miss Baylock, to go
It was
up
dangerous for me to be, you know, in that situation with him.
I understand that. You shouldn't have gone up on the
I
ground.
feel as though I was wrong, but I had no choice. After he struck me once, I felt as though he was going to yank me out of the car or something. He was very irate.
He hadn't struck you yet when you went up on the grass. Hadn't struck you yet, according to you. You went up on the grass, and then he approached your car.
But, Your Honor, the reason why I tried to proceed to get away from him is because he was cursing and approaching my car.
Right.
I tried to get away from him before he approached my car.
She's not telling you what happened.
Cost of replacing your window is $179.75. Is that right?
Yes.
Your Honor,
Mr.
she
Jackson,
left the scene.
Mr. Jackson, she did not leave the scene. She came
left
back.
the scene.
Shh. She flagged down the police and brought them back. If somebody just runs over somebody's legs, they don't do that. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of
$179.75.
And I'm denying that, madam. $179.75. You can replace a window in a half a day. You shouldn't have been up on the sidewalk. That's all.
Why does that excuse you? May step out.
My arm, I got 36 stitches, I got 10 puncture wounds, and I'm paralyzed from my wrist down to my elbow.
He tried to sue me for over $10,000. Basically, I don't have any money for him, but he caused those injuries on his own, and that's good for him.
I want to see my medical bills paid, and I don't want to see her no more.
And now the next case.
All parties on Leyva versus Rodriguez. Step forward, please.
28-year-old bank teller supervisor Cheyenne Leyva is suing 18-year-old Gabriel Rodriguez for damage to her car caused by a water balloon.
So you're driving around in your brand new van.
Right.
How many days old is your van?
It's about a day and a half old. I got it on Thursday night, and this happened Saturday afternoon.
Brand new?
Right.
And there are a bunch of idiot teenagers that, for sport, are throwing things at cars.
Right. We were driving down the road, and we heard two loud dents, and so I stopped the car and got out of the van to see what happened. My little sister said they ran this way. They were on, there was like a low block wall and an office complex. They started running into the office complex.
How many of them?
3.
And they were apprehended.
Right. We chased them. They ran into their house. We called. I was on the phone with the police the whole time. We waited, and the police got there. They knocked on the door. Gabe had tried to, he jumped the back fence and started to walk off, but the police went and got him.
No. You had damage to this brand new van.
Right. There was 2 dents in the side door.
And how much was the damage?
It was about $540.
Now, 2 of the young men, one paid their third in full.
Right. And the other one paid half.
And is paying slowly.
Right.
But Mr. Rodriguez over here says, I'm not paying.
Right. Well, he said he would at first, but now all of a sudden he says he's not responsible.
He says he's not paying because his balloon missed.
That's right.
And there were only 2 dents in the car.
Right.
Right? Now, what prompted you and your idiot friends to engage in this kind of conduct?
We had nothing else better to do.
Was that during the week?
It was on Saturday.
You had nothing to do on Saturday?
No, man.
How'd you get a job?
Should do that.
What were you throwing?
We were throwing water balloons at each other for the day. And then we got tired of throwing them, so then we just lost them over the wall when we saw the car, and we hit the car.
Did you say we hit the car?
Well, there was 4 of us.
Yes.
And then when we threw it, I watched my water balloon, and mine went right over the top. And my 2 friends, there was 4 of us, and we threw 4 water balloons, and 2 out of 4 hit the car.
Okay. And you watched yours very carefully, and yours missed. So therefore, you're not responsible for the damage.
Yes.
Wrong! Let me see the estimate for the damage. Fool. An idiot. Maybe he can't find a job. $531. Make it $532, this change. Divided by 3.
$177.33.
Co-conspirators to commit the act of vandalism. That's what you were. Co-conspirators. Right?
Right.
You mean because of the Earth's spin and gravity and luck, maybe your balloon didn't hit? You're not responsible?
I feel I'm not.
You still feel as if you're not?
Yeah.
Were you alone?
No, I had my little sister with me, who's 13, my husband, and my baby, my 8-month-old baby, and my 4-year-old daughter.
So let's say, Mr. Rodriguez, that all you idiots threw your balloons over, a couple of them hit. The plaintiff swerves, hits a wall, and her baby is severely injured. Would you be responsible?
Yes.
Why do you think you'd be responsible if your balloon didn't hit?
Because I helped doing it.
Right. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $177.33. I just wanted him to see.
Right. That's why I was so mad.
Right. He may still not see,
Probably
but maybe
not.
he does. Fool.
Yeah, definitely.
18-year-old fool, not 6 years old.
Right.
Throwing water balloons. 18 years old throwing water balloons. Get a job.
Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out. Number 378 on the calendar in the matter of McPhillips versus Dunkel. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have a seat, please.
Miss McPhillips, the defendant used to be your boyfriend.
Yes.
According to your complaint, he was arrested on a charge of assaulting another girlfriend.
Over there.
And you bailed him out.
Yes.
He says that you may have physically gone down to pay the bail, but it was not paid with your money, it was his aunt's money.
That's right.
Okay. When he was arrested, were you still dating?
Yes.
What date was he arrested?
May 25th.
And how did you find out that he was arrested?
His sister and her boyfriend called me at work and told me that they came to his house and arrested him.
And what did you do?
I left work and we went to his aunt's house, who then gave his sister money for his lawyer.
Oh, no.
Shh. Just a minute.
and then her boyfriend gave another $200
Just a
for
second.
his lawyer.
You went to an aunt's house.
Yes.
And at the aunt's house, you all picked up some money.
Yes.
How much money?
His aunt and her fiance gave $300, and Chris Maxey gave $200.
Chris is the boyfriend.
Of Dina, yes.
So that was $500 altogether.
Yes, for his lawyer.
But then he's still in jail. So what happened with his bail?
The next day, we went to a court hearing, and they said that his bail was $1,000.
And what did you do then?
Me and Dina and Chris all then went to my bank and took the money out of the bank. And then
Out of your bank?
Yes.
And you have proof of that?
I don't have my bank records because it was back in May, and I had $1,003.24 in the bank. And I took out the money, and so the account was closed. And I didn't think I needed proof because I assumed he would give it back like he said he would.
Miss McPhillips, that sounds like the most ridiculous answer. If you know you're suing somebody, and you know there's an issue, and you have bank statements that you receive each month, then that's the one piece of evidence that it would seem to me that you would bring.
It was back in May.
So what? We're not talking about 20 years ago. We're talking about 6 months ago.
And I didn't file the claim till November because that was when his court date was, and I didn't think that I needed the statement in May or I would have gotten one.
You get a statement from a bank every month.
Yes, but I don't keep them. And so I don't have the one from May. But I have the piece of paper saying that I am the one who gave the people the money that bailed him out. Why would I be suing him for money that wasn't mine?
We're going to find out in a minute. Go ahead, Mr. Dunkel.
Yeah, like she said, I was arrested. My sister and her boyfriend, Chris, were at my house when the police picked me up. I called my aunt that night from jail and told her they'll set my bail the next morning. She said, I asked her, if she could bail me out, and she said, sure, that's no problem.
That is a lie.
Well,
where's your aunt?
Where's
your aunt?
She's at home. She runs a home daycare. She wasn't able to be here. I have a statement here written from her.
I don't take statements written from witnesses.
Okay.
Where is your aunt's bank statement that shows me that she withdrew $1,000 from a bank?
She had it in cash. The next day, my bail was set for $1,000. My sister, Chris, and Brandy went to my aunt's house. My aunt gave them the money, $1,000 to bail me out of jail. They went to the police station. Brandy, Dina, and Chris went to the police station. I don't know why Brandy was entrusted with the money to bail me out, probably because she was my girlfriend at the time. But she gave them the money. They gave them the bond receipt. So the bond receipt's in her name, so I think she's entitled to.
Okay, but if his aunt gave the money, then why wouldn't they have given it to Dina? She is his sister. When his aunt trusts Dina with the money?
Madam,
more than
you're
me?
not standing there in a very good place, because all you had to do to be successful today was to bring me a bank statement. That's all you had to do.
I didn't keep it. I didn't think I'd need it. I thought that he would pay me back like he told me he was going
But
to.
then you knew he was not going to pay you back, and you knew you were coming to court.
But I already didn't have
Listen
a
to
statement.
me. What do you mean you already didn't have a statement? You called the bank and you said, I need
The account
May's
was
statement.
closed, so they wouldn't give me a statement.
That's not true.
I
That's
did call
not-
the bank, and
What?
they wouldn't give me a statement since the account had been closed for 6 months.
Do you know that I don't believe that?
That's the truth.
All right, I'm going to hear your witnesses, because so far a lot of what you told me, sir, is hearsay. Who was present when the aunt turned over this $1,000? Step up. Tell me your name.
Dina Van Grinsven.
So, what happened?
Basically, we showed up at my aunt's house after we went to his court hearing, and my aunt handed Brandy the money and said...
That is a lie.
Shh.
And we got back in Chris's car. We went down there. Brandy ran out and paid for his bond.
What time was the bail hearing on the 26th?
At 9 o'clock.
Shh. And what time was he bailed out?
5 o'clock, around 5.
So you knew the exact date of the withdrawal. It had to be on the 26th of May.
It was around 1 o'clock in the afternoon because I had to wait for my friend who was living with me at the time to bring down my driver's license because they wouldn't let me withdraw the money out of the bank without my driver's license, even though my
Okay.
signature matched.
All right. I want you to do this. I want you to get the telephone number of the bank, get on the phone with the bank manager. You tell the bank manager that you are in court now. You would like them to research their record and just be able to tell the court, that's me, whether on the 26th of May of the year 2000 there was a $1,000 withdrawal from your savings account. Now, the two of you would agree that if there was $1,000 withdrawn from her savings account on the 26th, that would pretty much establish that you're lying, right?
Right.
So there's no issue with regard to that,
Right.
right?
Unless it was pay your bills. I don't know. I got my aunt's phone number right here. You can call her and
Why
just
would
talk
I
to her.
want to believe
'Cause
your
there's
aunt
my-
over
that's
the
my prime
telephone?
witness. You know,
If
she
your
gave me
prime
the money.
witness is supposed to be here, sir,
Well,
you
she
would
runs a
agree,
daycare, she
sir, since you weren't there, that if the bank manager, who I'm sure will be cooperative with me,
Okay. he
because
can cooperate with you.
they're always cooperative with me, and he certainly is disinterested,
Okay.
will tell me that she withdrew $1,000 from her account on the 26th, that would mean that you and all your relatives and all your friends are lying, right? And
Not necessarily.
Oh, yes.
Well,
of
why
course.
would they give you the
Of
bank
course.
statement and they wouldn't give their own, their own customer the bank statement?
Why? Because it's much harder to say no to me. Miss McPhillips, did you get the number?
Yes, I did.
May I have it, please? You sure you want to continue with this?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. All right.
You have a seat.
Yes, can I have extension 426, please? Thank you. Yes, this is Judge Judy Scheindlin. I'm calling because I'm in the midst of trying a case involving one of your clients, Miss McPhillips, Brandy McPhillips. And the main issue in the case revolves around a withdrawal made from her savings account on the 26th of May. Can you tell me if there was a withdrawal? There was. And that was the total amount of the withdrawal. Wonderful. Thank you very much. I appreciate your trouble. Bye-bye. I just love it when everybody's lying a little bit. Miss McPhillips, you did, in fact, make a withdrawal on that day.
$850.
Well, that's not what you told me initially. Miss
I tried
McPhillips,
to
just
tell
listen
you
to me.
that I had $150 cash,
No,
but you
Miss
didn't let me
McPhillips,
finish.
listen to me carefully. You didn't try to tell me anything. What you told me was you had $1,003 in your savings account. You withdrew $1,000, leaving you $3 left. That's what you told me. You didn't try to tell me anything else. However, you did withdraw on the 26th $850. And I'm looking at the bail receipt. The bail receipt, they're so smart. They list the denominations of the bills. 800s, 150, then there is 110 and 720s. So we got to get it straight. You withdrew the $850. Now, where did you get the extra cash from?
I work at a bar on the weekends, and that was my tip money from the week before.
So how do you have tip money when you...
Don't speak to her! Liar, liar, pants on fire. Don't speak to her. You step up here.
Good.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a debt consolidation
You're what?
counselor. A debt counselor.
You're supposed to be honest when you're a debt counselor.
I am honest.
Not today, you weren't.
Yes, I am.
Oh, no, you weren't.
Yes, I am.
You were lying.
No, ma'am.
Oh, yes, you were. Because, you see, based upon the fib that you told me, you and Mr. Wonderful over here,
Thank
you all went to the aunt's house, all of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you took Auntie's money, and you went and paid the bail with Auntie's money, and you just handed the money to her. It seems unreasonable and unfathomable why, with her boyfriend in jail, she would go and withdraw practically all the money she had in the bank, and then go out on a spending spree or decide to pay her bills from her savings account.
What, she can't take money out of her savings account to pay her bills?
Are you asking me a question?
Well,
Are you asking me a question?
no, I guess I'm not.
You sure aren't. Who do you work for?
Greater Nebraska Tree Service?
So you deal with trees.
Yes, I do.
Well, you don't always have to be honest with trees, but you should be honest if you're in debt
I'm honest here
consolidation.
today.
I am honest.
Let me tell you something. Not only I am aware of the fact that you are dishonest because you perjured yourself, but there'll be 10 million people who will agree with me. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,000. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
You lied.
They were made fools of. They lied.
Never trust a woman.
Obviously, some people aren't worth trusting.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Flamini versus Warner. Step forward, please.
18-year-old telemarketer McKeel Flamini is suing former landlord, 54-year-old homemaker Carol Warner for return of rent. McKeel says Carol's compulsive behavior caused her to move.
Miss Flamini, you rented a room in the defendant's home. According to your complaint, you lived there for 1 day. Things were so intolerable, you moved out and you want your rent back.
Correct.
It's Miss Warner's contention that you had no basis to leave and she's not returning any of your money. So I have a few basic questions.
Okay.
How did you find the room to rent?
I met Carol through a friend of mine from school, and he introduced me to her, and I went over to her house. And when I first came into the house, I was like, I can't live here. But then I met her, and I really like Carol. I still really do.
All right. You met her through a friend.
Right.
You went to her house. According to you, the house was a mess.
Right. I have a picture.
The rent was $489 a month, according to your complaint.
Yes.
Plus doing some cleanup for her.
Right.
Okay. You have some photographs?
I have, yeah, a photograph of, you can see in the background what it kind of was like.
I can see everything. Okay. Very good. So you got to the house, and?
And later that night, it was Halloween, it was October 31st, we agreed on the phone that I would come back that night and we would start cleaning up the house. So I got back there and I tried to clean up. Like, I would pick up paper towel off the ground and throw it away, and she'd be like, no, you can't throw that away. I use that to clean the floor. And she'd make me wash my hands every time I touched a dirty dish. There was a piece of paper with the number 3 on it and like scribbles, and I crumpled it up to throw away, and she's like, you can't throw that away, that goes on this pile. And it was just, she wouldn't let me clean, and that was, our verbal agreement was I would live with her and help her clean up her house if she let me stay there.
Okay. Did you move in on the 31st of October?
I never moved anything in. I just stayed there to clean.
That night?
I stayed that night, yes.
Okay. And did you leave November 1st?
Yes.
Now, Miss Warner. Miss Warner.
I'm listening. I'm just surprised at her statement.
Okay. Had you previously, immediately previous to the plaintiff moving in with you, had you had a roommate?
I don't think so.
What do you mean you don't think so?
No, I did not.
The answer is you did not have a roommate.
Correct.
When was the last time you had a roommate?
Oh, maybe 6 months before then.
And she lived there for 1 day?
I think it was actually 2 days. Because the day that she came...
The day that she came was October 31st, which was the day she gave you the
No, she
check.
came the day before, Your Honor, with her friend, to look at the place and see if it was okay for her to live in.
But then she came and she slept there on October 31st.
Correct.
Correct?
Yes.
And she left November 1st.
I'm not sure of that either.
Well, if you're not sure, she said she was there 1 day, so I have to assume she's correct. So my question to you, Ms. Warner, is if it didn't work out, and you certainly didn't turn away any other boarders, why don't you give her back a $489?
Because I did turn away other people, Your Honor.
When did you turn people away?
Actually on the 30th, when she said, okay, I'm going to go to the bank with my friend, and she opened an account in order to use a West Hollywood address and to establish residence, as she herself said.
So what? I don't know what you're talking about, Ms. Warner.
Answer.
All right, now we're talking a couple of months later. Do you have a roommate?
No, I do not.
Right. You have to give her back her money.
Why is that?
I'm going to tell you why. Okay. I don't want to go into all the reasons she says your house was a mess. Evidently, this was a young lady who wanted very badly to rent a room in your house because, according to both of you, she ran out and she said, no, I want to give you the check today because I really want this room.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So there had to be a very good reason why, after 1 day of living with you, she said, this is not going to work.
Why don't you ask her what the reason is?
If you want me to, Miss Warner.
I'll ask her.
No, you don't have to ask her. I'll ask her. I asked the questions.
Okay, sorry.
I was trying to save you embarrassment.
I'm not embarrassed in the slightest, but she saw
So,
the
go
home
ahead.
before she moved in.
Go ahead.
Well, she wouldn't let me clean. I couldn't even, the bed that she had the room for me, I couldn't take her papers off the bed. I had to actually sleep on the side of the bed. I woke up to Carol staring at me. She was sitting in a chair staring at me. And I was uneasy, and I was like, I cannot live here. I just could not live in that situation.
Why was it such a mess?
It's not such a mess. It's totally, she's just supposed to help me with my dishes.
Were there papers all over the bed that you were sleeping on?
No.
Did you go into her room and were you sitting in her room at some point?
No, that's a total lie. She just, all she did was change her mind about wanting to live there, and then the lie
Why
happened.
do you think, Miss Warner, she changed her mind within a 24-hour period?
Probably because she found a place that she could rent at a pretty good price, and she wanted her own place.
Miss Warner, you are mistaken. I find that you have suffered absolutely no financial damage as a result of her not living there. You didn't turn away other prospective boarders. I don't believe that you turned away other prospective boarders because it's months later and you still don't have a boarder in your house. You look like two very nice young ladies, but you can't keep the $489, madam. It's outrageous.
If she had rented somewhere else, like actually rented a home, that landlord wouldn't give her money back just because she changed her mind the same day.
I didn't.
Madam,
or the day later.
I believe her when she says that living in your home, that you are a clutter collector.
It's not true.
I believe that you are a clutter collector and that circumstances in your home for that brief period that she lived there made her believe that her life in your home was going to be untenable.
She decided she wanted to live on her own, and she saw the place before she moved in. She decided to live
She
there and to
didn't
help
live
me
with
the
you
house
for
rent.
24 hours.
couldn't
Judgment
live
for the
with you,
plaintiff
Carol.
in the amount of $489. That's all.
Why is our excuse? You may step out.
Here's your scoop.
I did nothing wrong.